Once upon a time, in a peaceful village, there lived a little girl named Ruby Hood. Ruby was known for her bright red hooded cloak, a gift from her beloved grandmother.
Ruby, come inside for a moment.
Ruby's mother calling from the house.
Your grandmother isn't feeling well. Could you take this basket to her?
The basket filled with bread, cheese, and a small jar of honey, carefully wrapped in a cloth. Ruby's face lit with excitement.
Yes, I'd love to see Grandma.
Ruby's mother gently placing the basket in her hands and warned Ruby.
Remember, don't talk to strangers on the way to Grandma's house. It's dangerous. Keep that in mind.
Ruby nodding and say,
I promise.
And so, Ruby set off, with a spring in her step and a song in her heart. Ruby walking along the forest path, surrounded by tall trees and birds chirping. She knew the way to her grandmother's cottage very well. Ruby noticing a patch of wildflowers beside the path, thinking, these will make Grandma smile. But someone else was watching her. Oh no, there is the big bad wolf, partly hidden by the trees, with a sinister smile.
Hello there, little girl.
Ruby's startled face as she turns to see the wolf.
Oh, hello.
Where are you going on this fine day?
Asked by the wolf, and Ruby responds innocently, completely forgetting Mother's warning.
Oh, I'm picking up some flowers as a gift when visiting my grandma.
The wolf's eyes narrowing as he hears Ruby's destination, and cunning plan came to his mind.
Perfect.
Ruby skipping off down the path, the wolf watching her go.
Goodbye, Mr. Wolf.
The wolf, darting through a hidden path, moving swiftly through the forest, trying to reach Ruby's grandma house before she does. There is a small, cozy cottage at the edge of the forest, surrounded by flowers. Meanwhile, Grandma was resting, unaware of the danger approaching. The wolf sneaking into the cottage, his movements silent and calculated, try not to wake Grandma up. After the wolf reached the bedside, the wolf's jaws opening wide as he swallows Grandma in one gulp. Oh no, Grandma is eaten by the wolf. The wolf putting on Grandma's nightcap and glasses, pulling the blanket up to his chin, waiting Ruby's arrival. Soon Ruby arriving at the cottage, holding her basket and bouquet. She can't wait to meet her grandma. Ruby quietly opening the door, peeking inside. She approaching the bed, where the wolf lies disguised as Grandma.
Grandma, I brought you some food and flowers. How have you been?
The wolf's reply, trying to mimic Grandma's voice.
Thank you, dear. Come closer.
Ruby notices something strange. Stepping closer, a puzzled look on her face, asking,
Grandma, what big eyes you have.
Ruby's growing suspicion taking another step closer, still puzzled.
And what big ears you have, Grandma.
All the better to hear you with.
And what big teeth you have.
The wolf throwing off the covers, baring his sharp teeth, and say,
All the better to eat you with. Ha ha ha.
Ruby's eyes widening in realization, turning to run, but the wolf lunges at her. The wolf swallowing Ruby whole, his stomach bulging slightly. Oh no. Cute little Ruby is eaten by Big Bad Wolf too, but help was on the way. A woodsman walking through the forest, humming a tune, his axe over his shoulder. The woodsman stopping, head tilted as he hears Ruby's muffled scream. He quickly running towards Grandma's cottage, determination on his face. The woodsman kicking open the door, spotting the wolf, who now has a distended belly.
What have you done, you beast?
The brave woodsman grabbing the wolf by the feet and shaking him upside down, trying to save Ruby and Grandma. Later, Ruby and Grandma tumbling out of the wolf's mouth, gasping for air, but unharmed. The wolf scrambling to his feet, fear in his eyes. The wolf didn't know that the woodsman is so strong he run towards the door, trying to escape. Ruby, Grandma, and the woodsman chasing the wolf out of the cottage. The wolf running into the forest, disappearing over a hill, never looking back. Ruby hugging her grandmother tightly, relief washing over her face. She was glad that they are safe. The woodsman kneeling down to Ruby's level, speaking kindly.
Remember, always be cautious of strangers. I'm so lucky to save both of you.
Ruby, her grandmother, and the woodsman standing outside the cottage, the sun setting behind them, casting a golden glow over the scene. And so, Ruby learned a valuable lesson, and she never, ever talked to strangers after that. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village on the edge of a vast meadow, there lived 3 little pigs who were as different as they were close. As they grow up from time to time, they had decided it was time to leave their mother's cozy home and build their own houses in the wide, open world.
Remember, my darlings, build your houses strong and always stick together, and most importantly, stay safe. The mother pig reminded her children.
Don't worry, Mom. We'll be fine. The pigs replied with excitement.
And so, the 3 little pigs set off on their journey. The pigs walk down a winding path. Pig 1, named Fiddler, skips ahead playfully. Pig 2, named Pfeiffer, admires the scenery. And Pig 3, named Practical, walks with purpose. They can't wait to build their own house. Fiddler stops at a clearing filled with tall grasses.
This looks perfect. I'll build my house right here.
Fiddler, who was carefree and loved to play all day, decided to build his house out of straw. It's light and easy to work with, he said to himself as he quickly piled up the golden stalks. In no time, his house was finished, and he spent the rest of the day frolicking in the sun. Pfeiffer, who was a bit more thoughtful but still eager to finish quickly, chose to build his house out of sticks.
This spot is just right for my house of sticks.
Sticks are stronger than straw, he reasoned, and it won't take long to build. He gathered bundles of twigs and branches, and soon his house stood sturdy and tall among the trees. With his work done, he joined his brother in the fields.
This will surely keep me safe. Now I can relax a while.
Practical, who was the wisest and most diligent of the 3, decided to build his house out of bricks.
Here, I'll build a strong house of bricks. I am going to build the strongest house in the world.
It will take time and hard work, he mused, but it will be strong and safe. Day after day, he carefully laid each brick, making sure his house was solid and secure. As the sun set and the evening breeze began to blow, the 3 little pigs settled into their new homes. But lurking in the shadows of the forest was a cunning wolf who had been watching the pigs build their houses. His mouth watered at the thought of a feast.
I smell little pigs. It's dinner time. I'm gonna find you and eat you all. Ha ha ha.
One crisp morning, the wolf approached the first little pig's straw house. With a sly grin, he called out,
Little pig, let me come in.
Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin,
replied the first pig, trembling behind his flimsy door.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
The wolf snarled. He took a deep breath, and with one mighty blow, the straw house crumbled to the ground. Fiddler squealed in fright and dashed to his brother's stick house. The wolf, now even hungrier, followed him and knocked on the stick house door.
Little pigs, let me come in.
not by the hair on our chinny chin chins.
The 2 pigs shouted, their voices quivering.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. Hoo 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 ha ha,
Growled the wolf. He inhaled deeply and blew with all his might. The stick house shook, and in an instant, it too collapsed. The 2 pigs squealed in terror and ran as fast as they could to their brother's brick house. The wolf, determined not to lose his meal, followed them to the brick house. He knocked on the door and roared.
Little pigs, let me come in.
Not by the hair on our chinny chin-chins.
The 3 pigs shouted, though this time with a bit more confidence, for they knew the brick house was strong.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. Hoo-hoo-hoo-ha-ha.
He wolf bellowed, but as he huffed and puffed, the brick house stood firm, not even a shingle out of place. The wolf grew red with anger and frustration. He was not one to give up easily. Suddenly, he had an idea. He noticed a chimney on top of the house.
Oh, I'll climb down and catch those pigs by surprise. How smart am I? Ha 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 ha.
He thought, licking his lips. Practical, however, was clever and quick to think. As the wolf began to climb, the pig stoked a fire in the fireplace and placed a large pot of water over the flames. The wolf slid down the chimney with a sinister grin, only to find himself plunging into the boiling water. With a yelp of pain and a burst of steam, the wolf shot back up the chimney, howling as he ran off into the woods, never to be seen again. The 3 little pigs rejoiced, hugging each other tightly in their strong, safe brick house. They knew they had escaped the wolf thanks to their brother's wisdom and foresight. But as the days passed, something unexpected happened. The first 2 pigs, Fiddler and Fifer, who had learned from their ordeal, decided to rebuild their homes. But this time, with bricks, just like their brother. Together they built their new houses, side by side, each one as strong and sturdy as the last.
Once upon a time, in a grand castle surrounded by lush gardens, there lived a young princess who was known far and wide for her beauty and kindness. The princess, a young girl with flowing golden hair, runs joyfully through the castle garden. One day, the king presents the golden ball to the princess, who smiles with delight.
Happy birthday, my dear daughter. May this golden ball bring you as much joy as you bring to our kingdom.
Thank you, Father. It's the most beautiful gift I've ever received.
The princess adored her golden ball and spent her days playing with it, delighting in its sparkle. She tosses the golden ball into the air, laughing as she catches it. She wanders closer to a small, sparkling pond, mesmerized by the ball's reflection in the water.
Look how it shines.
She tosses the ball high, but it slips through her fingers, bouncing once, twice, and rolling into the pond.
Oh no.
She rushes to the edge of the pond, her eyes filling with tears as the ball sinks out of sight. The princess sits down by the pond, tears streaming down her cheeks.
My beautiful golden ball. How will I ever get it back?
Just then, she heard a voice unlike any she had heard before.
Ribbit, my beautiful princess, why are you crying?
The princess looks around, startled, but sees no one. Then, with a small splash, a frog leaps out of the pond and lands at her feet.
A talking frog? This must be a dream.
Not a dream, princess. I'm as real as your golden ball. Now why are you so sad?
The princess hesitates, then wipes her tears and begins to speak.
My father gave me a golden ball as a birthday gift, but it fell into the pond and now it's lost.
The frog listens carefully, then hops closer.
I can retrieve your golden ball, princess, but I'll need something in return.
And what might that be, little frog?
I only ask that you let me be your friend. I wish to live with you in the castle and share your meals and stories.
The princess thought the idea was strange, but she was desperate to get her ball back.
All right, I promise. Now please bring back my ball.
The frog dives into the pond, disappearing beneath the water. After a few moments, he emerges with the golden ball clutched in his mouth. He places it on the grass beside the princess, who quickly snatches it up.
My ball, thank you, little frog.
She stands up and runs back towards the castle, leaving the frog behind.
Wait, Princess. You promised to take me with you.
But the princess merely laughs and runs faster.
How could I ever let a slimy frog live in the castle with me? That was just a silly promise.
The princess joins her parents for dinner. The king and queen sit at a grand table, and the princess takes her seat. Just as they begin to eat, there is a knock at the door.
Your Highness, there's a frog at the door. He says he was invited by the princess.
The king raises an eyebrow and looks at his daughter.
Is this true, my daughter?
Embarrassed, the princess recounted the events of the day.
Yes, Father. I promised the frog he could live with us if he retrieved my golden ball.
The king, known for his fairness, frowns slightly.
If you made a promise, you must keep it, no matter how unusual.
Reluctantly, the princess agreed, and the frog was welcomed into the dining hall. The frog hops up onto the table and looks at the princess expectantly.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for honoring your word, Princess.
The princess grimaces as the frog begins to eat from her plate, but she says nothing, hoping he would leave once dinner was over. However, when she rises to go to bed, the frog follows her.
Ribbit, I'm quite sleepy, Princess. May I sleep on your pillow?
The princess is horrified, but remembering her father's words, she reluctantly allows the frog into her bed. That night, the princess lay awake, keeping as far away from the frog as possible. The next morning, the frog wakes the princess with a soft voice.
Good morning, Princess. I have one last request.
And what might that be?
All I ask is for a kiss. Then I will leave you in peace.
The princess is furious at the request, but also eager to be rid of the frog.
Fine, one kiss and you're gone.
She leans down and quickly kisses the frog on his cold, damp forehead. As soon as her lips touch him, a bright light fills the room, so blinding that the princess has to cover her eyes. When the light fades, the princess looks back to where the frog had been and gasps. Standing before her is a handsome prince, his eyes filled with gratitude.
Wow.
Who are you? What happened to the frog?
Thank you, dear princess. I was cursed by an evil witch to live as a frog until I received a kiss from a true friend. Because of your kindness, the spell is broken.
The princess was stunned but also overjoyed.
I'm sorry I judged you by your appearance. Can you ever forgive me?
The prince takes her hand and smiles warmly.
There is nothing to forgive, my princess. You have shown great courage.
The princess and the prince return to the king and queen and tell them everything that had happened. The king speaks gently to his daughter.
This is a lesson, my dear. We must never judge others by their looks alone. True beauty lies within.
The prince and princess walk by the pond where they first met.
My princess, will you marry me and come to live with me in my kingdom?
The princess smiles, her heart light.
Yes, my prince. I would love nothing more.
As they share a tender moment, they hear a familiar sound. Ribbit, ribbit. They turn to see a small frog sitting by the pond, watching them. The prince chuckles.
Don't worry, little froggy. Your princess will find you one day.
They laugh together, their hearts full of joy. The prince and princess are married in a grand celebration, surrounded by friends and family. And so, they lived happily ever after, their hearts filled with love and understanding. Once upon a time, in a small, humble cottage on the edge of a village, there lived a poor boy named Jack with his widowed mother. They were very poor and had nothing left but their beloved cow, Daisy.
We have no choice, Jack. We must sell Daisy to get some money for food.
All right, Mother. I'll go to the market.
And so, Jack set off to sell their only source of milk. Jack walks along a winding path with Daisy, looking downcast. He stops as he meets an old man standing by the side of the road.
Good day, young boy. Where are you taking that fine cow? The old man asked.
To the market. We need money for food, Jack replied.
How about a trade? I'll give you these magical beans for your cow.
The old man holds out 5 shimmering, colorful beans.
Oh wow, magical beans, deal!
Tempted by the promise of magic, Jack agreed to the trade. Jack hands over Daisy and takes the beans, his eyes filled with wonder. Jack excitedly shows the beans to his mother, who looks shocked and disappointed.
Magical beans? How could you? We needed money, not beans.
In frustration, she throws the beans out the window.
I thought they might be special, Jack whispered.
But Jack's hope remained, for he believed there was something more to the beans. The next day, Jack wakes up to see a giant beanstalk growing outside the window, reaching up into the clouds.
It's real! The beans really are magical. I couldn't believe this.
Filled with curiosity and hope, Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. Jack climbs up into a magical kingdom in the clouds, filled with golden light. He sees a giant castle in the distance. Everything looks so magical and fantasy. He never see anything like this before.
What is this place?
Jack begins to explore, his heart pounding with excitement. Jack sneaks into the castle and finds it filled with treasures, golden coins, sparkling jewels, and a harp that plays beautiful music by itself. But what caught Jack's eye the most was a golden egg, larger than anything he had ever seen. Jack picks up the golden egg, marveling at its weight and beauty.
What a beautiful egg. This could save all of us.
Just then, the ground shakes as the giant enters the room, towering over everything.
Fee-fee-fo-fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Jack is shocked and quickly hides behind a large chest, his heart pounding.
I need to get out of here.
Jack runs out of the castle, clutching the golden egg. The giant saw him and chase after him, but Jack is too fast. Jack slides down the beanstalk, the giant close behind trying to reach him. Jack's quick thinking led him safely back to the ground. But he needed to stop the giant from coming to the village. Jack saw an axe and grabs it and starts chopping down the beanstalk with all his might.
Come on, just a little more.
The giant reaches the bottom, but just as he does, the beanstalk topples over, sending the giant crashing to the ground. Jack and his mother watch as the beanstalk and the giant disappear into the earth.
You did it, Jack, his mother cheering.
Jack places the golden egg on the table, and it begins to glow with a warm, comforting light. The egg wasn't just gold. It was filled with a special light, a light of hope and faith. The golden egg shines brighter, filling the room with a heavenly glow.
It's a miracle, Jack. It's a blessing. Her eye is teary.
Jack smiling and say, I think it's more than that, Mother. It's a sign that we should always believe, even when things seem impossible.
The light from the egg reminded Jack and his mother of the true miracle of life, just as the birth of Jesus Christ brought light and hope into the world. Jack and his mother stand in the village square, surrounded by villagers. Jack holds up the glowing golden egg for all to see. Jack shared the miracle of the golden egg with the entire village, bringing hope and light to everyone.
This egg, it could change everything.
It's a gift for all of us. Together, we can make something even greater.
Jack carefully plants the golden egg in the soil outside his cottage as the villagers gather around, watching in awe. Jack planted the golden egg, believing in its power to bring even more blessings.
It will grow into something wonderful, I just know it.
Few days later, the villagers return to find that the golden egg has grown into a magnificent tree bearing golden apples. Jack picks the first golden apple and holds it up to the sunlight, the villagers cheering. The tree bore fruit, and from its branches came golden apples, a symbol of the village's newfound prosperity.
We must harvest these apples and share them with everyone.
Yes, let's make a feast for the whole village.
The entire village gathers for a grand feast. The golden apples placed at the center of every table. The villagers eat, laugh, and celebrate together under the starry sky. The village celebrated together, their hearts filled with joy and gratitude for the blessings they had received. Jack and his mother smile as they watch the villagers celebrate, their cottage glowing with the light from the golden tree.
This is what faith and courage can bring, Mother. A miracle for everyone.
You've done more than just save us, Jack. You've brought hope to everyone.
Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a wealthy merchant with 3 daughters. The eldest 2 were spoiled and vain, but the youngest, known simply as Beauty, possessed a heart full of love and kindness.
This village is so dull. I miss the luxuries of the city. I can't believe we're stuck here because of Father's misfortune.
One fateful day, their father received news that one of his lost ships had returned to harbor, filled with the promise of riches. He prepared to make the journey to reclaim what was his.
What shall I bring back for you, my dear daughters?
Bring me the finest dress, Father. And I want jewels, the most exquisite ones.
And what about you, Beauty? What is your heart's desire?
Just a single rose, Father. That's all I wish for.
A rose it shall be.
The journey was long, and as night fell, the forest grew cold and ominous. Snow began to blanket the path, and the father found himself lost in the woods.
I must find shelter.
Through the swirling snow, he spotted a distant light, a castle, grand yet foreboding, with its windows glowing warmly. Inside the castle, the father found a feast laid out as if prepared for him. The fire roared in the hearth, and fresh clothes awaited him, but not a soul was in sight.
Surely this is the work of a kind spirit. I must thank them.
He hesitates, but then sits down to eat, grateful for the hospitality. As dawn broke, the father prepared to leave. On his way out, he noticed a beautiful rose garden and remembered his promise to Beauty. The father walks through the garden, admiring the roses covered in morning dew. He gently picks one, its petals soft and vibrant.
At least I can bring Beauty her wish.
Suddenly, the ground trembles with a mighty roar. The beast, a towering figure with the body of a lion and the face of a man, emerges from the shadows, his eyes blazing with fury.
You dare steal from me after all I've given you?
Please forgive me. I only wish to bring a rose to my daughter.
Your theft cannot go unpunished, but I will spare your life on one condition. Send me one of your daughters to live with me, and your debt will be paid.
Terrified, the father agreed, though his heart ached at the thought of sacrificing one of his beloved daughters. Upon returning home, the father told his daughters of the terrible ordeal. While the 2 sisters refused to even consider the beast's offer, Beauty stepped forward, her heart filled with courage.
Father, I will go to the beast. It is the only way to save you.
Let her go. It's her fault for asking for the rose in the first place.
And so, with a heavy heart, the father took Beauty to the beast's castle, where her fate would be decided. The castle was as magnificent as before, but now it held a sense of dread. Beauty and her father sat at the grand table, fear gripping their hearts. The Beast enters the room, his presence filling it with a cold, daunting aura. Beauty trembles, but stands firm, her eyes meeting his.
Did you come here of your own free will?
Yes, I did.
Then your father will leave in the morning and never return.
Beauty accepted her fate, though she feared what the future held. But as the days passed, she began to see beyond the Beast's terrifying exterior. In the castle, Beauty discovered a room filled with roses, books, and music. A sanctuary that seemed made just for her. Beauty enters the room, her eyes widening in wonder. She runs her fingers over the petals of the roses, a smile spreading across her face.
Perhaps he is not as terrible as he seems.
Every evening, the Beast dined with Beauty, treating her with kindness and respect. Yet each night he would ask the same question.
Beauty, will you marry me?
No, Beast, I cannot.
Though she refused his proposal, Beauty found herself growing fond of the Beast, seeing the goodness in his heart. One day, Beauty discovered a magic mirror that showed her father, ill and in need of her care. Her heart ached with longing to return home.
Please, let me go to my father. He needs me.
You may go, Beauty. But remember, if you do not return, I will die of a broken heart.
The Beast handed her a magic ring, with the promise that it would bring her back whenever she wished. Beauty returned home, bringing joy and life back to her ailing father. But her sisters, driven by jealousy, plotted to keep her there, hoping the Beast would take his revenge.
Don't leave us, Beauty. Stay just one more week.
Torn between love and duty, Beauty stayed, but her heart grew heavy with the absence of the Beast. One night, Beauty dreamed of the Beast, lying lifeless in the castle garden. Guilt and fear flooded her heart, and she knew she had to return. She awoke in the castle and ran to the garden, where the Beast lay as if in death. Tears streamed down her face as she cradled his head in her arms. Beauty kneels beside the Beast, her tears falling onto his fur. His eyes flutter open, and he speaks in a weak voice.
I thought you wouldn't come back, but now I can die in peace.
No, Beast, I love you. I will marry you.
At her words, the air around them shimmered with magic. The Beast transformed into a handsome prince, his curse lifted by her love. The castle, once dark and gloomy, burst into light and color. Beauty gazed at the prince who stood before her, his eyes filled with gratitude and love.
Thank you, Beauty. You have broken the curse with your love and kindness.
Together, they returned to Beauty's village, where they shared their happiness and fortune with all. The village celebrated with a grand feast, and the roses in the garden bloomed brighter than ever before. And so, Beauty and the prince lived happily ever after, their love a beacon of hope and joy for all who knew them.